Your parents gave you 4 pieces of financial advice. Every single one of them is now mathematically wrong. Not opinion, math. Here's the proof. If you followed their advice and saved $500 a month since age 22, you did everything right. You have around $89,000 today. Someone who ignored the savings advice and invested instead, same $500, same age, same 2026. That gap? $639,000. That is the cost of the map your parents handed you. Let's go through it, all of it.
Your parents weren't careless. They weren't ignorant. They gave you the advice that made them financially stable. The problem is that advice was calibrated for a specific economy. In 1975, 4 things were true simultaneously. Jobs were stable and rewarded loyalty. Savings accounts paid real interest. Houses were affordable on one income. Pensions guaranteed retirement income. All 4 conditions lined up at once for roughly 30 years. Your parents lived inside that green zone. They built their entire financial worldview inside it. Then the green zone ended, and the advice outlived the conditions that made it work. Here's what happened to each one.
Advice number 1. Get a stable job. Stay loyal. In 1970, the average American worked for 1.8 employers. Total. Lifetime. 1 job, 1 career, 1 outcome. That model worked. Now look at what loyalty actually costs you in 2026. The average raise for staying at your company? 3%. The average raise for leaving for a new company? 10 to 20%. Every year you stay loyal instead of leaving, you are paying a loyalty tax. Over a 40-year career, that loyalty tax costs you approximately $1 million in lost earnings. Your parents said loyalty was rewarded. They were right. In 1983, 62% of private workers received pensions as that reward. Today, 4%. The reward disappeared. The advice stayed. Nobody updated the map.
Advice number 2. Save your money in the bank. Your parents saved this way, and it worked. Here's the exact math of why. Savings account interest rate, 12%. You deposit $10,000. You do nothing else. 10 years later, $31,058. The bank paid you to save. That's not a metaphor. That's the literal math. Your parents built their financial habits inside a 12% world. Save money was not conservative advice. It was a genuine growth strategy. Now here's what the same advice produces in 2026. Average savings account interest rate, 0.46%. You deposit $10,000. You do nothing else. 10 years later, $10,046. But inflation ran at 3.2% per year. Your $10,466 has less purchasing power than your original $10,000 did. You followed the advice perfectly. The bank quietly took the difference. And here's where it connects to the next problem. That broken savings account is the same account you're using to save a house down payment, which means the math was already impossible before you even started. 3rd piece of advice. Buy a house. Build equity. That's wealth. Here's the math your parents ran in 1975. Median house price, $39,000. Median income, $14,100. Ratio, 2.7 times your annual income. 20% down payment needed, $7,800. Time to save that at 1975 savings rates, under 3 years. Single income. Now run 2026. Median house price, $435,000. Median income, $76,000. Ratio, 5.7 times your annual income. 20% down payment needed, $87,000. Time to save that at today's savings rates? Remember the 0.46% account we just talked about? 11 years. Not 3, 11. And during those 11 years, housing prices rose an average of 5.4% annually. You're saving toward a target that is moving faster than you can save. Your parents bought a house. The house returned 400% over their lifetime. They retired on that equity, then told you to do the same thing, without telling you the savings rate was now 0.46%. The advice assumed the savings tool still worked. It doesn't, and those are two separate failures hitting you at the same time.
Fourth piece of advice: don't gamble with money. Play it safe. In 1975, that was mathematically rational. Not cautious, rational. Here's why. Savings account, 12%. Stock market historical average, 10.5%. Why take market risk for less return? Today, savings account, 0.46%. Stock market historical average, 10.5%. Avoiding risk now costs you 10% per year. Every year. For decades. Let's make that concrete. Two people, age 25. Both have $10,000. Person A follows the advice, saves in a bank. By age 65, $12,000. Person B invests in a basic index fund. No expertise, just consistency. By age 65, $728,000. Same 40 years, same starting amount. $716,000 difference. Don't take risks cost person A $716,000. That's not bad luck. That's the mathematical consequence of advice that expired. The platform they were standing on no longer exists.
There's one more piece, the one that makes all the other advice make sense in hindsight. Your parents had a pension, most of them. A pension means someone else manages your retirement. You show up, you work, you retire, you get paid, monthly for life. In 1983, 62% of private sector workers had one. Your parents built their entire money strategy around this guarantee. The savings advice, the house advice, the don't take risks advice, all of it assumed a pension was waiting at the end. Then corporations discovered the 401k, and everything shifted. A pension puts the retirement risk on the company. A 401k puts the retirement risk on you. One quiet legal change, decades-long consequence. Today, 4% of private sector workers have a pension. Your parents gave you retirement advice while standing on a pension foundation, without knowing the foundation was being removed from under you. Now you're responsible for your own retirement, your own investment choices, your own market timing, with zero formal training. And the 4 pieces of advice your parents gave you, they were written for someone with a pension. You don't have one.
Here's what this video is not saying. They didn't mislead you. They reported accurately from inside a system that no longer exists. But here's the hidden math. Every piece of advice that stopped working made money for an institution when it failed. Save in a bank? Bank earns 4 to 5% on your deposits, pays you 0.46%, pockets the spread. Every dollar you save in a bank account generates approximately $0.045 of wealth for you and approximately $0.40 of profit for them. Buy a house, Mortgage industry earns $100 billion annually. Most of your first decade of payments, interest, not equity. Don't take risks? Financial management industry controls $30 trillion in assets, charges 1 to 2% annually on everything, whether you gain or lose. Get a stable job? Lower employee turnover saves corporations an estimated $15,000 per retained employee. The advice that keeps you comfortable keeps them profitable. That's not conspiracy. That's the hidden math. A mathematical system where your compliance generates their revenue, and the advice that enables your compliance was handed to you by people who loved you. That's the mechanism.
So here's the new map. Not savings accounts, investment accounts. Not job loyalty, skill loyalty. Not one income, multiple income streams. Not avoid risk, understand risk. But here's what should actually unsettle you. Your parents received the same map from their parents, who received it from their parents. 3 generations, 3 completely different economies, same map. Nobody questioned it, because questioning the map felt like questioning the people who loved you. And a map that nobody questions never gets corrected. That's not an accident. A population that inherits outdated financial beliefs saves in the wrong places, invests in the wrong things, misses the windows that actually build wealth, and spends money trying to fix problems that the institutions created. The map was never wrong by accident. An outdated map, in a changing economy, is a renewable source of financially confused customers. Think about that.